Yeah. Hi guys, it's Steph from Aussie Maille. Welcome to our Saturday night stream. I hope you guys are doing well.
So you did press go?
I had pressed go,
Oops.
yeah, before you started
Okay.
going no. So I don't know whether anybody heard that or not. How are we all? Am I coming through?
Well, you are here.
I'm coming through. Hey Margaret, how are you, love? First off the mark today. Hey Susie, how are you? And Brizzy's arrived.
Wolf of Sin made it.
Wolf of Sin.
Interesting name.
Yep. The picture's familiar? Jennifer, maybe? Your picture's familiar, I just can't remember your name, sorry. Hey Roslyn. Well, I'm glad you all can see me. You seem to be quite behind. Is it lagging, baby?
A little bit.
Yeah. Hey Hilda and Anna. How are we all going today? We've been busy? Miss Julie, what are you up to, love? Cat. Oh, is it Cat? Sorry. I can see your picture and I can recognise your face, but I couldn't put a name. I'm sorry. Faces I can do, names I'm absolutely hopeless at. Ask my children.
There's only 4 to cycle through.
It was always you. You're the one I'm looking at. You're the one I'm talking about. Don't worry about what I'm saying. Hey Wendy, good to see you, and Mordreth. Alrighty, so we've got a few people here. We might as well get started then so we can chat afterwards. Alright guys, we're doing an established kit this week. So an oldie but a goodie, Viper basket. So fairly easy weave. This one should be fine for everybody. Actually prepping for tonight, Julie. Excellent. Hey you, yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, I'll swap this over to the other camera and we'll get started. Alright, so I've got up some sample pieces done for you guys. So starting 14 gauge AWG, which is 1.6 millimeter diameter wire. The anodized rings, the coloured rings, are 1/4 inch or 6.35 mils, and the large rings on the outside are 10 mil ID. And then our 16 gauge version, 1.2 millimeter diameter wire. Coloured rings on the inside are 3/16 of an inch, and the big ones on the outside are 7.5 millimeter ID. Our 18 gauge AWG or 1 mil diameter wire. The anodized rings are 5/32 of an inch or 3.97 mils, and the rings on the outside are 6 mil ID. And last but not least is the gorgeous 20 gauge AWG 0.8 millimeter diameter wire. The rings on the inside is 1/8 of an inch or 3.18 millimeters, and the rings on the outside are 5 mil ID. So I really love the 20 gauge version. To be honest, I've only ever made this in 16 gauge up until the other day. I find the 16 gauge version is a little tight. It's not as free flowing as say the 20 gauge version. You can see the 20 gauge is completely limp. Whereas the 16 gauge, you can see it's not quite as bendy as the 20 gauge. So that's a really nice version of it, I think. The 20 gauge gets the AR just right.
Sits so flat.
Yeah, well, see, the other ones, they all tend to get a little bent, a little crooked sometimes in them, but it's stiff. But this one here, it's just beautiful. And the fact that it's rainbow, of course, makes it even more awesome because everything always looks better in a rainbow, right? All right, so we'll just make a start then. I'm going to do it in 14 gauge tonight, so hopefully you guys can all see that well. And to start the weave off, we just start with a simple 2-2 chain. So however you want to put that together. So you need it to be about the length of your bracelet plus a couple of centimeters or so. So I found for a 20 centimeter bracelet, I had to make this chain 22 centimeters in length. So added about another 10% to the length of my chain, because adding the large outer rings will scooch it up a little bit. Okay. If you can hear coughing in the background, excuse my husband, he's actually not very well at the moment. He's had a bit of a congestive week and he's only just starting to feel slightly human. Hopefully he'll be able to last the distance. Okay, so as I said, just make up that chain. I'm only going to make a short piece up to show you. It's a really easy weave. This shouldn't actually take very long tonight, which is why I thought I would do the chain in front of you rather than prepping it. If you do it in 2 colors to start with, makes it even easier to do. But nobody should have a problem with this weave. Okay, I'll just put a couple more rings on. Oh, have to excuse me, I put some cream on my hands, which wasn't a very smart idea just before I started. Now my hands are all slippery. Alright, so imagine that's the length of the bracelet plus about 10%. What you want to do is you want to grab yourself a twist tie or a paper clip, something like that, and pop it in that first ring there at the beginning of the row. And then taking up your large ring. I've grabbed the wrong one. Babe, can you do me a favour?
Sure, baby.
Can you grab me 14 gauge 10mm BA? I've just realised I've grabbed the 16 gauge, not 14 gauge.
14 gauge which?
10mm.
Yep.
Out of the room. Sorry guys, I've grabbed the wrong ring. I've realised it's the right ID, but it's the wrong gauge, so it's going to be a bit flimsy. So chat amongst yourselves while we're waiting for Chris to do a dash into the craft room. So I might as well just add a couple more rings here while we're waiting. So these colours here, for those that are interested, this is aged bronze and lavender pink. So I just wanted to grab 2 contrasting colours so you guys could see the weave quite well. Hopefully he can find it. Sorry about this, guys. Did you find him, babe?
I think so.
Thank you. All right, got the right ones this time. Okay, so taking up your large outer ring, we want it to go through our first ring, around our second ring, and then through our third pair of rings. Okay, so really simple, just like that. Close it up. And that's our first ring placed. Okay. So our next one, we're going to go through the aged bronze ring this time. Okay. So we're going to go through that, up through the bottom of the aged bronze ring. I'll bring that a bit closer. Meanwhile, sitting on top of the ring that we previously placed. Okay, so up through there, and then we bring it down and around. We go down through the next aged bronze ring. Okay, and close it up. So it just looks like that. Next, we're going to go through our pink rings. So open up your large ring. Sitting on top of the previous bright aluminium ring, we're going to go through that pink ring there, bringing our work down and around and going through the next pink ring in the weave. So you can see by making it 2 colours, it's very obvious where the rings need to go. And that is the weave. That's as tricky as it gets. So again, we go back here to our ring that we just added. We want to go this time through the bronze. So whatever ring is in the middle there, we go up through the bottom of that one, making sure we sit on top of the bright aluminium ring that we placed before. We bring it around so that it goes through the next pair of rings in the same color in the chain, and we close it up. Okay, and hopefully that's obvious. Is everybody comfortable with that? As I said, super, super easy weave, but really effective looking, I think. Were you about to say something?
How did you do the 2 in 2 so fast?
Well, you left the room.
See what I mean? How did you do it so fast?
And that's it, guys. So that's our demonstration for tonight.
I think you're going too fast. You need to slow down.
All right. Do you guys agree? Am I going too fast? No one's chatting to me, so I don't know. Chris seems to think I'm going too fast. So as you can see, it's easy to extend this weave if you don't make it long enough to start with. You just add more to your chain. If you find that you've gotten to the end and it's not quite enough for you. And yeah, so that's it really. Is everybody happy with that, or?
Ace's got a question for you.
Could you double the outside rings? I suppose you could. They'd have to be, I don't know. If you wanted the same size, you're going to have a middle bigger ring. Otherwise, I think it's probably going to be too stiff. And I think it would look better if they sat inside each other. I mean, that doesn't rock my world. I think if you had one big ring and then a bigger ring again, but you'd have to work out the ring sizes for that. Okay, but just again, so to say you've put your work down and you're wondering where you're at next, you just look at the last bright aluminium ring you placed, and we want to feed our next ring through whatever color or position is sitting there in the middle. Okay, so in this case, it's the aged bronze, and we come up through the bottom of that one. Okay, bring it all the way down and just go down into that chain. All right, and then with the next one, again, you can see that it's pink in the middle, so that's the rings that we're looking for. This one, I'm going to go up through the bottom, okay, bringing it down and around and making sure we go down through the ring, the next lot of pink rings, making sure, you know, you haven't twisted your chain in any way. But that's it. And then to finish it off, I don't have any here with clasps on them, but you would just add either a ring to that one there, or you could take that first one off and put a clasp attachment ring through there, catching that one there in the middle and doing the same on the other end. So you wouldn't have these two purples in this regard, you might have your clasp attachment rings sitting in there. So it really depends on what sort of clasp you're using and how you need it to sit. But that's about it. The 20 gauge is beautiful, Kylie. It's really lovely, and it just sits so much nicer than the others do, to be honest. So you can see, as I said, these ones, I mean, the 18 gauge is not too bad. It's pretty flexible. The 16 gauge and the 14 gauge, especially the 16 gauge, it's a little bit more rigid. So it doesn't sit as well. You can see that that's sort of, it's not a straight line. I don't know if you guys can see that, how this section here is a little bit up. It's much, much tighter. Yes, and that's Oberon complaining. He wants to get inside, Brizzy. He's currently. I can hear him with the headphones on. He's currently outside. Yeah, he's out at the window. I thought you were just ignoring him.
Oh, I can do that too.
So that's it. Is everybody happy with that? Do they understand what I did? That I didn't go through that too quickly because Chris is telling me I have.
No, I'm just saying.
So. Hopefully everybody's good with that. No more truth than not. I don't have any AA rings in the size of the BAs. I don't. You'd have to muck around with the rings to see if you could actually get a combination that works, that you could use AA rings. I suspect, though, most of them would be too small.
3/8 is the biggest AA, isn't it? It's 9.5.
9.5 instead of a 10, and then it'd be 6.35 instead of 7.5. It'd be 4.76 instead of 6. Yeah. I really don't think it would work. I mean, you could try it. I actually don't think we sell this one as a kit anymore.
No.
We used to sell this as a kit, Sue. I'm going to take this off. We used to sell it as a kit, but we did the Great Kit Apocalypse in February, I think it was, where we took a lot of our kits off because they just weren't selling anymore.
What, too hard to manage that many kits we had?
We had over 100 kits plus 4 or 5 variations of each kit, and it was just getting ridiculous. So yes, we don't sell the kits anymore, and the written tutorial that I have is actually a very old one. I wrote it originally for a magazine article many years ago, and it needs updating. So it doesn't have, because it was written for a magazine, it was only one size, so it doesn't have all these sizes in it either, so I need to actually update that tutorial and include all those in there. Yeah, Janine, if you just send me a message or something, hun, and you can't check out.
Check out for MailCon? Or for
so you're just talking about the website, Janine? Is it in one of the bulk kits? It was in one of the package deals, I think.
Now you're going to ask me which one, I'll check.
Chris will check which package deal it is in. A lot of the weaves that got discontinued are in package deals, and we'll probably include some of them, create a few new ones. Yeah, it's a really easy one, Kelly. I really like it because it's easy. I love the rainbow that I did. I'm just enamored with that. Kit number 2.
Package deal number 2.
Package deal number 2 apparently has this in it, but we usually only supply one colour with it.
Yeah, and then the random.
And yeah, it's a random. The shop. All right. We'll have to have a look and see what's happening, sweetheart. We'll have to let you know. All right. So that's it for the weave then. As far as things to talk about, of course, we released our MailCon registrations last night. For those that weren't aware, we did post it across all our Facebook accounts. We've had several bookings already, and some classes are actually getting close to selling out already. So if you want to come along, guys, and you want your choice of classes, you better jump on that quickly because some of them are selling out very quickly. So Chris, do you want to pop the website up for me?
Sure.
You can check out our new website. Chris worked very, very hard on that. Got it looking pretty smick. But all that information is there on the website. If there's any questions you need to ask, feel free to do that. If you do book in and you do have food requirements, let us know. We can't guarantee we're going to be able to accommodate absolutely everybody's, but we'll do our best to make sure we've got something there for you guys to eat. The teddy is so cute. So yeah, he's pretty gorgeous. I got quite a few of those teddies here at the moment. All right, so that's MailleCon, and I think that's our main news at the moment. So does anybody have any questions or anything they wanted to check with us? Otherwise, I guess we're kind of done. No questions? Everybody's good? I hate this lag because I always just sit here going, yep. Waiting. All right. Yeah, I don't know what the accommodation's like around here, obviously, because we don't stay in accommodation. But I know people last year found some reasonably priced accommodation down near the river and places like that. So the ones we list are only a few. We've done our best to find the majority of them, but I'm sure there are other options around. All right, well, I guess that's it. Send a message. Okay. I'm not sure what you're going to send me a message for, but okay, Sue.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
As soon as I sell my house, you'll be placing your order. Okay. Well, good luck selling your house.
So it sounds like it's going to be a big order.
It does, doesn't it? We'll have to get some stock in. Well, hello, Margaret. What are you up to, Trouble? What ring size was with the 20 gauge? 20 gauge was, the AA was 1/8 of an inch. And the BA was 5 mils. The weave, that weave is called Viper Basket. Oh, it does have another name, but I can never remember what it's called. Viper Basket is its common name. Thanks for coming along, Brett. It's really good to see you, mate. I'm glad you're here. Oh, look at you, Margaret. Yep.
We know.
It has another technical name, something orbiting, something.
All those words.
All those words. But Viper Basket is its common name. It's like orbiting, Viperivirus orbiting or something like that. All right, I'll stop that. Sorry. I'm getting in trouble off Chris. It would be a good sized one. I look forward to it, Lisa. And Chris will too, because he's the one who fills most of the orders. All right then, peeps. I guess that's probably it. Like I said, our main thing to talk about tonight was MailleCon, and I'm not sure I have that much to talk about at this stage, really. Except that the website is up and all the classes are up, and if you want your choice of classes, get in sooner rather than later. Well, I'm glad you're getting better now, Brett. I really am.
Yeah,
I'm so pleased to hear that. You're in our thoughts constantly, mate. Okay, ring sizes. Yes, as I said, the ring sizes used to be just 16 gauge. I will update the tutorial, but if you go back to the beginning, I mentioned the ring sizes for once this is uploaded onto YouTube, and I mentioned all the ring sizes. You'll be able to catch them again there. I have got my car wiped out by kangaroo on Thursday. Oh, Margaret.
No one heard? Because those kangaroos can do some damage.
They can do some major damage. Yeah, I can remember my dad got his new car. He hit a kangaroo with his new car. It just about broke his heart.
Yeah.
All right, well, if nobody's got any questions or anything else, was worse for the Roo?
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good for anybody, really, is it? We might leave it tonight then. Any questions about MailCon or any issues or anything like that, shoot us an email. Put MailCon in the subject line. It's probably the quickest way for us to see it. Everything with MailCon in the subject line is going to a different folder, so I won't lose it. Which, if you hit me on various social medias, I might. Because there's so many places to catch messages. All right. Oops, I'm fiddling again. All right, beautiful people. I'm going to go before Chris throws something at me. I thank you all for coming along tonight. Do appreciate it. It was a really quick video, but they can't all be long ones.
Oop.
We will catch up with you through the week, through Aussie Mailers, and we'll see you back here next week for 2 new weaves. It'll take a little bit longer than this one. All right, guys, thanks for coming along. Love yous all. Bye.